Good morning. Still morning. Yo, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Salute. I make my beats. I use AI. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. You could tweak it a little bit. You tweak it, but it's AI generated. Salute to Travis. But the good thing is, like, you can make the beats, or you have AI generated. You could tweak it, and then you get to publish it like it's your own shit. So, and I love jazz. Jazz is like my favorite genre. But I also like hip hop. I like the hip hop as well. I like certain aspects of hip hop. Of course, I am a lover of lyricists. My favorite thing about hip hop is the lyricism of some artists. And then of course you got the hip hop beats. So I kind of make a fusion between jazz and hip hop, but in instrumental. I'm not trusting AI to make lyrics. I'm not doing that. So sometimes you just want to listen to some jazz with a little bit of hip hop spin on it. You know what I mean? But yeah, salute to Marcy T and my brother Flying Guillotine. Salute to the Queen Marcy T. It's called lo-fi. I don't know what that means. But it is what it is. But yes, it is music that I can enjoy. I actually, the beats that I make, I can listen to it all day like I'm little artists that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? And they don't really make jazz like they used to. And so I say, you know what? I'm gonna make my jazz. And that's what I did. So yeah. But I can play it too and not have any copyright strikes. You know what I mean? And I'm not a musical person, meaning I don't have I'm not a musical person, at least I don't think I am. I never tried to play an instrument or anything like that. So I don't really know if I'm musical, but I love music. So anyway, that is the story behind the beats that you're going to hear on my channel. They're all made by me and AI together. We work together on that. You know what I mean? Yes, always. Yeah, I want to play the bass. I'm really drawn to the bass guitar, right? I love me some Charles Mingus. Charles Mingus is one of my favorite jazz musicians, as well as Thelonious Monk, because I like the piano as well. So, yeah, I want to play the bass guitar. I want to learn how to play that. Anyway, y'all, what we got going on? Wow. I thought my voice was getting a little better. Now it's kind of like acting up on me. Anyway. Oh, for sure, yeah. And that's why I want to do the bass, because I figure at my age I can learn how to play bass fairly quickly. I gotta get the guitar. I have to get a bass. Acoustic, of course. But anyway, what in the hell is going on? It's funny, he gets no views when he pays for them. What? I don't pay for shit. Oh, you're accusing me of paying for views? Okay, whatever you say, pal. Have you seen my channel? Why would I pay for a view? Why would I spend money on paying for views? instead of paying for production equipment, cameras. Why would I pay for a view before I pay for that? You would think that I would let myself a YouTube studio and then go from there. But I'm a guy driving around ranting about certain topics. Why would I pay for a view? It's kind of backwards, right? But whatever. It is what it is. Now, I do plan on creating my little studio so I can do more content on YouTube, but I'm not paying for a view before I do it. Pay for views? That's crazy as hell. But whatever, you believe what you want. Anyway, Donald Trump wants to start testing nuclear weapons, which, by the way, has not been done since 1992, I believe, was the last time we tested nuclear weapons in this country. And this is crazy coming from a guy. Oh, salute to Anarchy Television in the building. Salute to you, bro. This is crazy coming from a guy who said that he wanted no new wars, right? He wanted to end the wars. He wanted to be the president for peace. Now he's talking about testing nuclear weapons to match the energy of China, Russia, because, you know, they test weapons. They test their nuclear weapons. So does North Korea. But doing this is very irresponsible. We used to have underground nuclear test sites. They stopped it for a reason, right? And so, why is Trump the president of peace trying to test nuclear weapons? For what reason? Why would he want to do that? What is this guy trying to trigger? What is Donald Trump trying to trigger with this bullshit? Why, you know? And obviously, his supporters are going to make excuses. They're going to, see, stop crying, he says. Okay. You don't see a problem with this. You don't see a problem with testing nuclear weapons in our country. Y'all don't see a problem with that. Y'all are okay with that. There's a reason they stopped the nuclear testing in this country. Yeah, we've done it 1 billion times until we stop doing it. See the excuses y'all make? Oh, well, we already tested nuclear weapons 2,000 times. Well, then it's okay to continue. There's a reason we stopped testing nuclear weapons in this country. The reason is due to contamination of the environment. Right? When you test nuclear weapons anywhere, the nuclear waste does not just disappear overnight. Right? Y'all think that, oh, we're just testing them. That doesn't mean anything. Well, in order to test them, you have to make them go off. You have to blow up the nuclear warheads to see what they yield. What are you doing when you do this? You are, right? You're blowing up nuclear weapons. That's what you're doing. You can call it a test. You can call it using it during a war, whatever. You are exploding nuclear ordnance in the country, in the world. I don't understand why this would be believed to be a responsible thing to do. And for what purpose? To show off to China and Russia? So basically, Donald Trump's ego has him wanting us to test nuclear weapons. Where would he do this? Where is the nuclear test site going to be? Is it going to be in Nevada again? Again, there is a reason they stopped testing nuclear weapons in the United States. There is a reason for that. Because there is fallout. Even if you test it underground, there is a chance that it can penetrate and get into different areas. There are different types of radiation. There's gamma radiation, there's alpha bullshit and this and that and the third. You have radiation that penetrates and goes far. You have radiation that doesn't go as far, but is highly concentrated. It doesn't penetrate as far. It's highly concentrated and does a whole lot of damage within that short range. Then you have radiation that does travel far, right? Like X-rays. X-ray radiation penetrates and it travels a far distance. So there's different types of radiation, right? So to deliberately explode nuclear weapons, even for China, even for North Korea, Russia, is causing damage that they will never tell you about. They're not going to give you the full extent of the ramifications of doing this. What song was that? I Made It. It's a song I made. But yeah, if y'all think this is a good thing, I listen. We should not be doing this. The idea that we have nuclear weapons in the first place is a major problem. Right? It's a major problem, and it's not something that we should be applauding, or it's not something that we should be like, oh great, because Donald Trump is doing it, it's okay. We have to get over this. We have to get out of this cult where we believe, well, our favorite guy is doing stupid shit, so it's okay. Our favorite ruler is out of control. Donald Trump is a warmonger. Do y'all remember in his first term where he was firing people left and right that were like John Bolton and all these guys that, you know, they claimed they were the warmongers, right? Oh yeah. Donald Trump was like, man, y'all doing too much in my first term now. You gotta wait until my second term. That's when we are gonna ramp up the war rhetoric. That is when we go to war. Wait till my second term. And then when we go to war on multiple fronts, and it's time for me to be elected, when it's time for the next president to be elected, maybe we can have some emergency bullshit where I can stay as president. I don't know. But there's always these rumblings about Donald Trump running for a third term or trying to be president for a third term. Well, it's against the Constitution, number one, right? But they don't care about none of that. They don't care about none of that. How many times have they violated the Constitution to hold the rings of power? How many times? And here we are. We got Donald Trump for a second term. And he's talking about testing nuclear weapons in the United States. And no one to say anything. Right? Yes. AI is now in the new arms race. Nukes just make it worse. Absolutely. Absolutely. But, you know, we are about to go to war with Venezuela. It's going to be Vietnam 2.0 on steroids. And so guess what? They know this. And I didn't think about this earlier. I think a week or so ago when I was talking about how Venezuela ain't no punk bitch, right? You're not just going to be able to run up in Venezuela and just sweep through there and just take over. You're not going to be able to do that. No, not with a ground invasion. A ground invasion not going to work on Venezuela. Not at all. But I think the testing of this nuclear weapons, this is what I think it's for, right? What's going to happen? He's talking about testing these nuclear weapons. What that is designed to do is encourage Maduro to surrender himself as president of Venezuela so that they can install their puppet government. And somebody sent me a gift. Salute to y'all. Salute to whoever sent me a gift. I appreciate you. So, this thing with the testing of the nuclear weapons is posturing, right? And he's saying, well, Russia, China, North Korea is doing it. We got to show force as well. Completely stupid reason to test nuclear weapons. And I believe it's not just about that. I believe it's also for Venezuela. This is to encourage Venezuela to, you know, give up what we want from them without having to go into a full-scale invasion. Because it would be completely detrimental and devastating to our troops. Yeah. A lot of U.S. troops will die trying to invade Venezuela. It's not going to be like Iraq. It's not going to be even like Afghanistan, because even Afghanistan was tough. Afghanistan was tough. And you see how that turned out 20 some odd years later. Afghanistan, we lost that one. We lost that one and $80 billion in military equipment in the process. And guess what? That did not work out for us, did it? Yeah. We retreated from Afghanistan. We gave up a multi-billion-dollar Air Force base and $80 billion in military equipment. And now Afghanistan is going right back to what it used to be. Yeah. Well, Venezuela is going to be a lot worse than that. Vietnam 2.0. And still, Maduro is like, listen, man, we don't want these problems. But if you fuck around, you're going to find out. So, also last week, I talked about how Donald Trump said that Venezuela don't want to fuck with the United States. And that's true. But not because he's afraid of the United States. No. It's because he doesn't want his country to be invaded in the first place. And not at all. Maduro does not want the loss of life that is going to occur with an invasion on his country. And there is going to be a lot more loss of life for ground invasion on our side than their side. And of course, you know, our government and our military, they're going to inflate numbers to make it look like we're doing something. Oh, they lost 80 million Venezuelans were killed and 1,000 U.S. troops were killed. Yeah, they're gonna fuck up the ratios on purpose. Right? Just like they claim, oh, we killed 80 million Vietnamese and only one U.S. soldier died. So that they can justify. So you're not looking at it like this war is causing, these wars are causing way too much loss of life on our side, right? Proxy war location? Are you talking about Venezuela? Venezuela will not be a proxy war. That is going to be a full-on, it's not going to be a proxy war. It's going to be a war. Right? That's what's going to happen there. So I'm going to ask if I ever fought. Yes. I have. Under Biden, we gave that up. Absolutely. Yeah, we gave it up under Biden. But Donald Trump was already talking about pulling the troops out of Afghanistan anyway. He had a plan for it. So maybe under Trump, we wouldn't have lost all that equipment and it would have been a more strategic pullout. But it still would have been a pullout. And ultimately, what we did over there would have amounted to nothing as far as we're concerned. What it amounted to for the billionaires, the special interest groups, the corporations, and the bankers, well, it amounted to a lot for them. They benefited greatly from the Afghanistan war. We never benefit from war. Every war is a banker war, right? That's just simply what it is. No one wins in war except for the elites, the defense contractors, the military industrial complex. So that encompasses a whole lot. It encompasses big oil. It encompasses the bankers, right? The defense contractors. Yeah. All those corporations, right? The corporations that provide the copper for the bullets, right? It just involves, there's so much money involved in war. And they only benefit. We don't benefit. No one benefits on either side except for those types of people. The arms dealers, right? The people that never will pull a trigger. They benefit. Eric Aline says, I fought for the Marine Corps. No one could touch us. We did what we were supposed to do in Afghanistan. Okay. What were you supposed to do in Afghanistan? Yes, Drive, I agree. We should never have gone in there. Marcia T. the Prayer Warrior says it was created to be the boogeyman for the country and shall not be named in the Middle East. Well, absolutely. Professor Tony Martin, the Jewish role in African slave trade. Well, yeah, they were involved in quite a bit. Lena Politics says You have a lot of fascists posting hate speech and violence in your chat. Yeah, they do that. They do that. It's par for the course when you come out and you talk about these things and you try to bring the truth to light. And the truth is, we should not be testing nuclear weapons. It's completely, it is extremely irresponsible. And listen, so there is, you know what we should be doing? We should be building nuclear power plants, if anything. We should focus energy on nuclear power plants, right? Because there is a way to handle the material extremely safely, right? It's not volatile unless you do certain things to it, right? You know, the nuclear materials, right? They exist on this planet already. This planet had nuclear material before we even came to this planet. Not came to it, but before we even existed. There was nuclear material here that existed, that was in the ground, that was on the surface, whatever, close to the surface. On its own, it's not really that dangerous, you know. But what we should be doing, if anything, is nuclear power, right? And of course, you had the nuclear power plant in Japan that had a meltdown, right, because of an earthquake and things like that. Those things can happen, right? Just like a volcano, right? It can erupt. A huge volcano in well, not Yellowstone, but where is that? There is a caldera volcano in the United States that is active. It's an active volcano. It hasn't erupted in millions of years, but if that were to erupt, it has enough force, this volcano. Everybody on the planet would probably die if that thing erupted. So I'm not saying, you know, what I'm saying is don't set off nuclear material on fucking purpose. Is what I'm saying. To test it, to use against your enemy, is fucking irresponsible. But if you wanted to use it to power an entire country, sure. I mean, just, you know, you got to be safe, right? You got to have certain safeguards and whatnot in place. Yeah, Yellowstone. Grubby generation at Grimps. Don't worry. Still plenty of natural gas, coal. Oh yeah, I agree, driver. Yeah. And look, we have the technology. They got scrubbers. They got sequestration, right? They have, you know, they have technology in place to reduce emissions. But of course, they're going to go with the global warming lie. It's a lie. Climate change is a natural part of the earth, right? The climate changes by nature. And they'll tell you it's accelerated by human beings. But if there's data out there and information, I'm going to look into this and I'm going to bring it to you guys once I get my situation set up. But there's a certain way to measure using the tides, right? How much climate change there really is. And there is no significant, I mean, it's not even negligible, right? There's not even negligible numbers to show that there is human accelerated climate change at all. Y'all know that for millions of years, while life was on this planet, that we're not human, the entire planet was warmer, hotter than it's ever been since we started recording. It's been much hotter. There used to be 0 ice caps on either pole. Ice caps used to not exist. This is reality. I took geology classes in college. I was a geology major. The planet goes in and out of ice ages. It's just a fact. Someone says fake news. Tell me what the authentic news is. Iron PR. I will listen to scientists about climate change than you. Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. Yeah, me too, before I listen to you. And guess what? There are scientists that are saying exactly what I'm saying right now. But you run with what you want to run with. Holla at your boy. Now, George Zimmerman too says liberals truly are a vampire cult. Encourage men to avoid women, believe all allegations, women to embrace abortion, that building a life in slavery, they don't breed, they infect. Well, these are liberal things, right? This is shit. See, this whole idea of the left-right paradigm it has been perpetuated and orchestrated by the powers that be. They plant these seeds. They do these things, right? No, iron PR. Even if you believe in evolution, there is no we come from monkeys. That's never been a thing in science. Y'all believe that because I don't know why, but I discovered during my time doing geology, right? Monkeys, humans don't come from monkeys. You're absolutely right about that. But we do have a common ancestor. That is what that is referring to. We don't branch off from monkeys. We branch off from a common ancestor of the monkeys and primates. Primates and humans, we split from a common ancestor and went along different evolutionary lines, right? We don't come from monkeys. You're absolutely right. But we do have common ancestors with monkeys. It wasn't a monkey. It was not called a monkey. Common ancestor was pretty much a monkey, just misuse of the word or whatever. It wasn't a monkey though, and it wasn't a human, right? I could say the converse. I could say the common ancestor was pretty much a human, but they were neither, right? It's what a canteen. No, it is. It's a half-gallon water bottle with a carrier, that you can carry around. It's pretty dope. Yeah. Nuclear scam. What's the scam about nuclear? Because I do know there's a nuclear scam. I just want to know which one you believe. I can't prove that. Okay. One Life 505 said, One Life says we're apes, not monkeys. And apes and monkeys are both primates. But apes are not monkeys and monkeys are not apes. That's what I'm saying. What I said is that primates and humans have common ancestors, right? I said monkey at first because someone else brought up a monkey. But yes, and then from primates, you have different branches of evolutionary lines. They don't come from each other. They just come from a same common ancestor. You branch off a line of dumbass. Okay, Matthew, sure. Adrian Miles Deuce. No, I do not wear contacts. Why would I wear contacts? No, I don't wear contacts. Nope. I was born with these. Unauthorized says we are carbon-based life forms. Yes, yes. So in other words, we are dust that the Lord breathed life into. Sure, if that's what you want to believe. You have every right to believe that. Yes. You call it the Lord. I call it the universe. I call it an energy or something that cannot be explained. something that I have no concept of, and I'm not going to make up a sky daddy out of nowhere to try to explain it to myself. No, I have no idea. Right? No offense to my religious folks in here, including Marcy T, who's a Christian, but sure, unauthorized protocol. There's nothing to disagree about. There is no agreement to disagree. It's all good. I mean, there is no agreeing to disagree. Yes, Bon Jovi. That's what I think it is saber rattling. So this whole nuclear test shit. Oh, go and test the nuclear weapons. Listen, do we really want to invade Venezuela? Absolutely not. It would not go well. And it would drain resources that are the controllers and the elite class. They don't really want to waste resources on Venezuela. They want Maduro to cave, and they want China, Russia, and North Korea to be like, okay, I don't know. But I really think it's about Venezuela. Driver says used to wear contacts. No, I don't wear no contacts. Doc German says, Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. Turn to him and you will be separated from him at the day of your judgment. Okay. Anarchy Television says political, corporate, and religious dogma is what is killing this planet. Yes, facts. Why can't we all just agree that we have no idea who the creator is, but something created us, and so something created this vast universe, or whatever you want to call it. You want to call it the firmament? Yes, sure. You want to say the earth is flat and there's a firmament above us and there's water up there, and whatever the case may be. That is a belief that, is based on, listen, I'm not going to try to figure it out because I have no idea. I haven't been up there. I have not been up there. Small hat controllers. Yeah, exactly. Now, speaking of the Epstein files, I will be talking about Prince Andrew getting censored from the royal family, but not really. Prince Andrew, just so y'all know, Prince Andrew, he basically gave up his dukeship or his lordship or whatever the fuck he had. He was the duke of some shit. He gave that up, and he gave up his status, right? And then his brother, King Charles, basically removed him from the royal palace and all that shit. All because of these Epstein things, right? All because of the Epstein files and the Epstein bullshit. And that's going to be an interesting story. I'm going to talk about that probably next week. Anthony Ishriel says, we are here, Dimitru Dudeman and Ken Peters. Okay. The Graveyard of Empire says, Bon Jovi. What's about Trump? Oh, he wants to test nuclear weapons. He ordered the Pentagon to start testing nuclear weapons like a dumbass. Yeah. This is stupid as fuck. Yeah, I never said I love Donald Trump. I don't know where people get the shit from. I have a buddy who was special operations against drug cartel in Venezuela. Him being Venezuelan, he feels like he should fight them. I don't care what he believes. Okay? He had been indoctrinated and brainwashed. And Venezuela is not bringing fentanyl into this country. Venezuela practically traffics zero fentanyl into the United States at all. They don't do that. They have cocaine, right? I don't care if your buddy was a special operations. I don't care. I don't care. That don't mean nothing to me. Stray Guys, Flying Guillotine says some of the best Coke you can get. That's funny. Probably. I've never done Coke, so I don't know. Well, you know, in some countries, grumpy, you're going to have people that are not going to like the leader of the country, and that's okay, right? There are people that don't like Trump. You're going to have that in every country. But there are a whole lot of Venezuelan people that are dedicated to Maduro, and they will fight tooth and nail to keep their country free from the clutches of the banking cartels of the United States. Period. Cocaine is killing, crack take people's souls. Yeah. Sajaki Boonstra says they are trying to make you look coked out because they don't like the truth you speak. Well, that's their problem. Yeah. You know, people don't, when they don't have a real argument, they'll start launching ad hominem attacks. This is what they do. T. Vera says it's weird that somehow the narrative that Venezuela traffics fit was even started. It's crazy. It's crazy as hell. March T says, trolls come to this channel. He is inviting you, so you have an open invitation. Yes. Chomo in chief. That's funny. Even if you were out of your mind of coke, you still talk more sense than them. Well, it is what it is. Hey. Stuart Hunter says they'll shoot their guns from the mules they're sitting on. Sure. Believe that. Go ahead and believe that. Sketch, salute to you. Because I'm not. This is what they just, you know. It's ad hominems. That's all. Ended 8 wars. Confusion about the warlord and cheat thing. What 8 wars did he end? Name the 8 wars that Donald Trump ended. Name 8 of them. 8? He ended 8 wars. Go ahead. Tell me the 8. No, don't delete the comment. Flying Guillotine. Bon Jovi. Don't delete Bon Jovi. He says you don't know the internet is toxic. Well, I know the internet has toxicity in it, right? Just like males aren't toxic, right? You know how they say toxic masculinity? No, there is no such thing as toxic masculinity. Are there men who are toxic? Sure. Just like there are women who are toxic. The internet is not toxic. It has toxic things within it that you have to discern and sift through and filter through. Eric Aline says, no one has what we have to fight with. We have learned more from fighting than anyone else. Keep believing that. Go ahead. Grumpy Gen X Grimp says, teach our sons masculinity. Absolutely. Yes, I agree with that. Toxic for liars, but you can't find the truth, even though they censor the truth as much as possible. This is facts. I'm using the internet right now to talk to you guys. You guys use the internet every day. Grumpy Gen X Gramp says, Too many don't even understand what true masculinity is. These are facts. These are facts. Marcia T says they said toxic masculinity so we wouldn't have any real men to fight against these powers that be. Exactly. This is just what it is. Okay, so no one wants to come here, yet you're here. Salute to Julia Louise Connor. Salute to you. You got the same hat. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, the internet could be a great thing, and it could be it's a blessing and a curse. As Jackie Booster says this, I'm glad there are people like you that know a bit about this world. Yeah, I know a fair bit. I don't know everything. I'm always trying to figure out more. I call myself a master student. You know, some people call themselves master teachers. No, I don't do that. I call myself a master student because I'm always open to learn. There's always something to learn about. Salute to Realize in the building. Salute to you. Respect to you as well, Jackie Booster. Salute to Realize in the building. Yeah. I call myself a master student because there's always something to learn and you'll never know everything. So, and you know, there's nothing wrong with being a master teacher, but I don't get caught up with the master teacher stuff because a student can teach as well, right? But they just understand that there's always more knowledge to obtain and they will never have all the knowledge. So you're always a student. There's always something to learn. Yes. Absolutely. And that's what I am. I'm a master student. You know what I mean? Eric Jordan, salute to you, bro. Salute to Eric Jordan in the building. Yes, learning new things every day is nothing wrong with that. I am forever a student. Marcia T says, the problem is we know too much. That's why we can't shut up. Yeah. I mean, I'll never shut up. I'm always going to show you guys what's really going on or what's really going on. That's just really what it is. Testing nuclear weapons? The United States. For what reason? To measure dicks? A pissing contest? To intimidate the leader of a sovereign nation or multiple sovereign nations? To show how big and bad we are? This is a fucking grave mistake. We do not need to be doing this. We should be building nuclear power plants, if anything. Right? To power the entire country. And you wouldn't need that many. Right? They don't want to do that. They're shutting down nuclear power plants for whatever reason. Oh, they're dangerous. Well, a lot of things are dangerous that we do to power this country. Right? And guess what? There's not enough, we cannot harness enough renewable energy right now to replace the energy that we are using already. Right? This just is what it is. Philip Pisco says, oh, Liberty Saint says, don't do on the others you wouldn't do to your own self. Facts. That's how you should do it. Nathan Truck says, Kamala Harris 2028. Good luck with that. Yes. Philip Cisco says, you are considered the forever learned man. Yes, that's how I consider myself to be a master student. Nuclear winter. Yeah, if you deliberately set off megatons of nuclear weapons, right? Nuclear weapons that release megatons of damage onto the world. You might do a live. Well, make sure you drop your link. Drop your link, Flying Guillotine. You too, Marcy T. Y'all drop your links. Y'all drop your links. Yo, go ahead and do that. But I'm about to get off of this live stream. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. Listen. Testing nuclear weapons is not a good thing. It's not good when China does it. It's not good when Korea does it. It's not good when Russia does it or any other country. It's not a good thing. Deliberately exploding nuclear materials to see how much damage you can cause is an asinine exercise. Why would, what kind of human being wants to do that? I tell you what kind of human being. An evil kind of human being. A human being that has no regard for life and wants to create as much destruction as possible if they don't get their way. That's what this is about. Let me show you what I can do if you don't do what I want you to do. I will devastate your entire country. I will devastate the entire world. I will create nuclear winter all over the world to get that get back or to show that I'm bigger and badder than you. This is going to create, it's a problem. It's a problem. And we're mad, but we're trying to act like Iran having nuclear capabilities is a problem, right? But we can go ahead and have all the nuclear weapons we want. We can blow them up. We can do this, do that. But we're trying to tell Iran that they can't even have nuclear capabilities. They can't even have nuclear power plants without being threatened, without being accused of trying to blow up the world. Completely asinine. Completely. But that's your boy. Donald Trump's your boy. Flying Guillotine says, Russia might test on Ukraine if the West don't stick to their plans. Well, it's a possibility. Anarchy Television says all governments around the world are the aggressors and the problem for centuries. Absolutely. Bottom line. It's all theater. I agree. It's all theater. But they are creating real devastation and destroying real lives with their theater, right? It's theater for them. Yeah, well, Sajaki, I know it's not your boy. Yes, they are animals. Radiation is actually optional in nukes. I recently learned that. Yeah, there's a lot of different things about radiation that a lot of people don't understand, and that, yeah. It doesn't have to be radiation, but it typically is, right? Like, I think the atom bomb was not radioactive. Salute to my queen sister Shawa in the building. I ain't seen you in a minute. The queen sister Shawa's up in here. Salute to my queen sister Shawa. Y'all go check her out as well. Y'all drop your links. Yeah. I'm about to get off this thing. No. Salute to you, queen sister Shawa in the building. It was? Oh, the atom bomb was the most radioactive? Yeah. I'm not really I got a little thing going on. I'm a little under the weather, Shawa. I refuse to call myself sick. Yeah, the atom bomb was the most. Wasn't there something? Was the most radioactive? Sure. Yeah, I think I'm mistaken on that. The A-bomb radiation devastated Japan. Yes. There was the nuclear fallout was from the radiation. You're absolutely right. I don't know why I said that. We wholeheartedly, Lord Christensen says, we wholeheartedly stand by his executive decisions, and the overwhelming majority of Americans agree with that sentiment. Then we're well and screwed then. We're screwed, right? Then we're screwed. As a black American, I am thankful for our great president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, or as we like to call him in Texas, Big Daddy. Oh boy. So in Texas, y'all call Trump Big Daddy. Okay. Yeah, the A-bomb was extremely radioactive. Yes, it was. You're right. Yeah, we're screwed. Yeah. If the majority of Americans have that sentiment, we're well and screwed. We super screwed. Yes, it's disgusting, Shawa. Absolutely disgusting. But hey, man, this is what we got going on, right? This is what people, hey, Big Daddy Trump, you know what I mean? Hey, he can go ahead. What if he decided to test those nuclear weapons in Texas? Would y'all be okay with that? Jockey says, Big Daddy, did you know him from Epstein party? Yeah, that's crazy. You don't have to like the right man for the job. Who's the right man for the job? And what job are you referring to? Anyway, y'all, let me get off of this thing. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Yeah, both sides are fucked. Yeah. Yeah. If you're on either side of the left-right paradigm, then you're lost. Anarchy says we're heading straight to Agenda 2030 and the New World Order unless we Americans stand against the tyranny. We have to. Tyranny can only exist if we allow it to, right? Anyway, much love. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for coming through. Anyway, peace out, y'all. Thank y'all for hitting that like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out of here, man. Show your boys some love. It don't cost a thing. Thank you, Shaw. Yeah, I'm a little under the, a little under the weather. She says, feel better, but Trump isn't my leader. He ain't my leader either. He's not a leader at all. Dictator in chief, that's what he is. All right. Holla at y'all later. Y'all be safe.